Welcome back to News Geelong. The third annual Surf Coast Relay for Life at Banyulwarri Fields down at Torquay was held over last weekend, continuing to raise funds for the Council of Victoria research programs. Ian Nichols reports.
Banyulwarri Fields, Torquay. Just in front of the Surf Coast Shire offices is the location again for the Relay for Life, a fundraiser and an awareness of cancer in our community. And this event has been opened by the newly elected Mayor of the Surf Coast Shire, Councillor Rose Hodge. Councillor Rose Hodge, you get called upon to open things, launch events, but none could be more fitting than the Relay for Life here on the Surf Coast.
Yes, Ian, this is fantastic. It's such a wonderful community event, and it's for people who have fought cancer. It is for people to remember who they've lost, and I think that's a wonderful get-together to celebrate life and to celebrate your health.
Well, yes, you read the ode, which I thought was very moving, and it says it all. We must never forget.
That's right, we've got to remember, and I've been affected. My mother passed away with cancer, and it doesn't just ripple through the family, it ripples through, generations that you remember people by. And to have the community do this is just fantastic. It's lots of noise, and it's great to be part of.
Well, they're underway for 2014. It's going to be a long haul, and you'll not only be at the start, you'll be back at the finish.
Oh yes, I'll be back at the finish. I'm lucky I'm probably not walking. I should walk off a bit of weight, I suppose. But look, I'll be here tomorrow and just to celebrate the work that they've done.
Well, it's lovely now that this event is established at Banyulwarri Fields, flies and all.
Yeah, there are a few flies. So I remembered to slip, slop, slap, but I haven't remembered to do the fly brigade. But that won't put a damper on the scene at all. It'll be a great community event.
Well, we had the inaugural event at the Bob Pettit Reserve in Janjuk.
Yes.
Very picturesque, lovely ambience, but nothing can quite match the young, I might say, it's still Banyulwarri Fields. It's going to be a wonderful facility for all, isn't it?
That's absolutely right. This precinct is, it'll be a model for other shires to follow. It can cater for nearly every facility and function that we have, and I think it's just a great place to bring the community together.
Well, it certainly is, and this is the second time here for the Relay for Life, and hopefully this year, and every year, here's a round of applause. They've just completed the first lap, Rose.
Fantastic, and I hope they have a wonderful 24 hours. Thank you, Ian.
We're up and running for another year.
We are indeed, Ian. We've got a tremendous support from the community again. We're looking at over 350 that are registered to this moment, and people still coming in. And we do have a marvellous committee, and not only that, we have a whole raft of volunteers behind the committee who helped us get the whole thing together. It's been frantic this morning setting it all up, and even yesterday there was a lot going on. So it's just been a great smooth start to the whole event.
Well, it was lovely to have the Mayor of the Surf Coast Shire, Councillor Rose Hodge, to do the honours, and the weather's holding up reasonably well for Torquay at this time of year.
It is. It's a little bit breezy, but we anticipated that. No rain, that's the main thing, and it's quite warm, really. It's looking promising. Tomorrow, 30 degrees.
Well, that's right, and that's when it will really start to hot up. We've moved over here to the Torquay College tent to get away from the noise, but gee, they're first up with the entertainment, and they're rocking Torquay by the sound of things, Darryl.
Aren't they good? Aren't they really good? And, we've got a tremendous raft of entertainers for the whole 24 hours. So everyone will be rocking and jazzing and dancing, and it'll be good fun.
Well, that's the whole aim of it. It's not just to raise money for the awareness of cancer, but to people come out and enjoy what should be a joyous occasion.
That's right. This is about remembering friends that have passed. It's about celebrating the fact that you've survived cancer, and it's really an event that aims purely at helping to make a cancer-free world.
At the 2013 Relay for Life in Torquay, this is Ian Nichols for News Geelong.
Thank you, Nico. The Great Victorian Bike Ride around the picturesque Great Ocean Road is one of the major events of our community calendar, as News Geelong went behind the scenes to catch up with all the happenings. Ian Nichols has more.
the Great Victorian Bike Ride, Mount Gambier to Geelong, is coming to an end. This is the last stage from Torquay into the Geelong Showgrounds. As you can see behind me, an entire city has been set up to accommodate the 5,200 cyclists. Jason Dalglish is with Atmosphere Events. They put up these tent cities, these villages, and they pull them down. And Birregurra the other day, now Torquay this time.
Yep, usually takes us about 4 hours to put up, and we're normally offside about 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, completely done. So, yeah.
You've catered for thousands of cyclists, a sea of lycra, so to speak.
Yeah, pretty much. We've done it for the last 20 years since it started, and it just gets bigger and bigger every year.
Well, you had the footy ground covered, you had the bottom of the RACV complex here, just a sea of people and tents, an enormous amount of tents here.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. I was actually talking to my boss last night and I said, it's amazing, you're moving a whole little city, you know what I mean? Like, and there's never been a complaint on it, so it's just incredible.
Goes like clockwork, which is great to see.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't probably see the much that goes on in the background, but I'd say there'd be a fair bit going on.
Yeah, moving a city, well, you're right. Very few country towns have 5,000 people, so it really is an enormous undertaking. And you do create atmosphere. Well-named company.
Yeah, that's right.
Jolie Holmes is a volunteer, but what's been your particular role on the Great Bike Ride?
I was on the cafe team, which is also known as the bar team, so we were serving drinks to everyone.
Why? Party time every night, is it?
Very, very much so. Some people like to have a lot of alcohol while even riding the next day.
Well, it doesn't seem to correlate, does it, with this athleticism that obviously they have.
Yeah, it's you get people coming back with another bottle of wine, and another bottle of wine, and another bottle of wine. You're like, wow, don't you have to ride like 100 Ks tomorrow? But hey, whatever. It's up to them.
Well, today's a short burst from Torquay to Geelong.
It's true, it's only like 40 or so, yeah.
So being the last night, was this your biggest?
It was really busy last night. It was, we normally kind of around 9, it kind of starts dropping off, and I was supposed to be off earlier, and then we were just still getting smashed at 9 o'clock, so. Yep.
Well, now we can see perhaps why the Great Victorian Bike Ride is such a smash hit.
Yeah, definitely.
400 volunteers, Fano, my producer tells me. So
Yeah.
the volunteers, do they get to party as well?
I think they're not all of them choose to, because a lot of them have to be up at 4 in the morning, like catering team. But yeah, we have volley night off and that type of thing, so we get a bit of partying in.
So is it your first Victorian bike
It was
ride?
my first, yeah.
Would you do it again?
I would. I don't think I'll be here, unfortunately, to do it again, but I think I would, yeah.
So there's nothing like this back home. Where are you from?
I'm from Seattle, Washington.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps you could go back to the United States with a great idea.
Perhaps, yeah. I haven't heard. I want to search now and see if there's anything in my area. Because I haven't seen it.
Well, you have more flies here. On the last stage of the Great Victorian Bike Ride, Ian Nichols for News Geelong.
Thank you, Ian. The newly director-elected Mayor of the City of Greater Geelong, Graham Rawlins, has set an energetic pace from day one. Ian Nichols spoke with fellow community leaders on the important role that the position holds now and into the future for Geelong.
I noticed you congratulated the new Mayor of the City of Greater Geelong,
Yes.
Darren Lyons, very colourful character.
Yes, I met him yesterday at the G21 meeting, and I think his love for Geelong shines through. And I think once he learns all local government rules, I think he'll be absolutely wonderful for Geelong.
And for the Surf Coast to work in.
Absolutely, we want to work really well with Darren. We have a lot in common, so I'm hoping that we have a good relationship, which I'm sure we will. I think he'll be great for Geelong.
Sarah, the new publicly elected Mayor of Geelong, Darren Lyons, you've had an opportunity to meet with him?
Absolutely. I'm actually hosting Darren tomorrow in Canberra when he'll be visiting with a delegation of other people from Geelong. There's no doubt that Darren's going to be a great voice for Geelong. He's going to be screaming Geelong from the rooftops wherever he goes, and I think that's a wonderful thing for Geelong.
Thank you, Ian. This is News Geelong as we go to a break and return with more news and weather after this.